did make his IndyCar Series debut last fall at Sonoma with a full rookie season this year. Welcome, Colton. What are you looking forward to for this season and the next couple of days here testing it at the Circuit of the Americas?
Getting in the car. It's been a long off season, and yeah, finally getting in the car, get going. It's going to be a busy year, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Questions?
Well, since we can't ask you the other question, I guess you're going to have to share.
Well, you can ask.
You're going to share more information with your Andretti alliance that the team has engineering-wise. Since now you don't have a teammate to fall back on.
Yeah. So basically, we are going to have a bit of a technical partnership with Andretti. It's not really any new news, but yeah, we'll share setup. They'll help us out when we need it, and yeah, I think once we get started on the weekend and we get put on a good platform, I'm pretty confident in my engineers. They've been around for a while. That we won't really have a problem and have to keep running back to Andretti. But yeah, anything we find, we can help them. Anything they find, help us. But yeah, it'll make both the programs stronger for sure.
To get the question out, I mean, how disappointing is today's news for you with somebody that you like competing with?
Yeah, it was nice having him as a teammate last year, and it kind of came out of the blue. I actually didn't find out until like 20 minutes ago. I wasn't aware until I saw it on Twitter. So the news came as a bit of a shock to me. Obviously, I haven't been told by the team yet because I've been busy doing this stuff, so I'm not sure if it's 100% true or anything, but yeah, it's kind of out of the blue for me. I know there was discussions about getting him a full year in, and I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, it's a shame for him. He's a good driver. He'll find something. I know he will. He's going to be in the sport for a long time.
I know you've had all 20 minutes to think about it, but how does this kind of change the season for you?
Yeah, it's tough. We push each other along in the lights. I think we made the car a lot better for Andretti, and then we bettered ourselves as well. And it was always close. Whether I was on pole, he was right there behind me. Whether he was on pole, I was right there behind him. So it was a close year. It bettered both of us. And yeah, it's going to be tough not to have that pushing competition, but I'm sure I can get that from the Andretti guys as well.
I guess to that end, obviously not to stay on the subject forever, but to kind of, where do you find that measuring stick for your own development and your own growth? Just because we saw it last year in Indy Lights with how y'all were able to just raise each other's game, where do you find that measuring stick for yourself this year?
It's tough to say before I start working with everyone, but yeah, I mean, I'm not really certain what your question, the measuring stick.
Well, just like your own development and your own growth and how you
where I think I'm at in my career.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's always room for improvement. There's going to be a big room for improvement this year because there's a lot to learn. One thing that I think I struggled with Sonoma was qualifying in the one-lap pace. Never had that in my career where you have to do a one-lap qualifying. So that's going to be a big thing to get adjusted to. And honestly, it's a big issue in IndyCar. So to do the one-lap thing, it's important and it's tough. You see the guys that have been around can do it really well. So just kind of taking in all that information as soon as I can, as quick as I can, and trying to transfer it into some results.
How about pit stops?
Pit stops weren't really a problem for me at Sonoma. Yeah, hitting the marks and everything was all good for me.
We talked to some guys today who've come in here, who've come from, especially over in Europe series, where they have no IndyCar experience at all. You're a rookie too, but you've been around the sport basically your entire life.
Yeah.
Your dad. I mean, do you feel like you're as well prepared or better prepared than any rookie in recent memory in the series? You feel like, hey, there's nothing else I could do in terms of preparation to get to this point that I'm ready?
A little bit. Obviously, you look at guys like Rosenquist, who's in his mid-20s, and then Ericsson, who's been in Formula 1 for the past 4 years. Obviously, they have more experience than I do, but not in the American market. So I've grown up around this sport. I like to think I know how it works, but still a lot for me to learn. But yeah, obviously I know a lot of people here, obviously growing up, being around the track with my dad. It makes it a lot easier. I know when I went to Europe and I didn't know anybody, it was tough for me. So yeah, in that factor, it does smooth it out a little bit, and it does make it easier.
A lot has been made about going back to Laguna Seca, and every time anybody talks about it, they talk about the past. But from your family's perspective, the past probably isn't something you want to remember. Is that something that you kind of cringe a little bit when you hear it brought up so often?
Even though it really shouldn't have been allowed, it was still a good movie. You can't doubt that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got the pleasure of working with Zanardi at BMW for the Daytona race, and he's super charismatic, and the way he describes the car is really something that I took away from him, the sheer detail that he goes into in the debriefs, and yeah, the way he describes what everything is doing, what he thinks is happening, what's causing that is extremely impressive. So, obviously, yeah, I mean, I'm going to say it didn't count, but it did in the standings, so, you know, it's my dad's battle, not mine.
But your dad had a lot of success there. I mean, like, he could drive a shopping cart fast around the Green Lake. It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there stuff that he can pass on that's still relevant from, you know, the kart cars to current breed of IndyCars?
It's tough to say because, you know, he hasn't driven these cars, I haven't driven those cars, but for sure from track knowledge, you can tell what. I don't think that place has been repaved in a number of years, and they say it's going to be repaved next year, which would be nice. I know from the test, tire wear looked pretty bad there. I'm not sure what Firestone's going to bring. They did a couple tests there, but yeah, the tire wear was pretty bad. It's a pretty rugged track surface, and yeah, it makes the track unique. It'll be something to struggle with, just like Sonoma, where tire wear is a struggle. It makes the racing interesting. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but yeah, the repavement of that place is going to be cool. And to answer your question, yes, there's quite a bit of track knowledge that my dad brings, and yeah, going on a track walk with him during the test there, yeah, I learned quite a bit.
Yeah.
Will this be the first time where you actually get to work with your dad on the same team?
Kind of, a little bit, but in the sense, no, because he really does a lot for strategy.
Yeah.
Engineering-wise, he doesn't do a ton. Obviously, he has good inputs on what he thinks stuff could do, but in the end of the day, it's down to Marco and his engineer to decide that. He does strategy, but he also brings knowledge of past races and you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be cool to work with him more and more closely in the future. I'd like to do that, but for right now, it's kind of we get to work together a little bit, but we're also kind of competing against each other in a way too, because we're on the same team, so we want to beat each other a little bit. But yeah, no, it should be fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, he will help me a lot, just like he has done before.
Where does your mom line up on all this? Obviously, with you.
Oh yes, she wants me to beat him, no doubt. She's definitely on my side. She always has been. So yeah, whenever, even like me and my dad did a few test days together. We raced an LMP2 car together. We just did the 8 hours of California together, and she's definitely always on my side.
You and George have been friends for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
When did you first talk about a goal of going racing together, and what is it like now to finally make it to the top together?
Yeah, so I don't know when George kind of piqued his interest in ownership, but we started talking late 2016. I was done with Formula 3. I wanted to race an IndyCar. My time in Europe was coming up. I wasn't going anywhere there, so I wanted to come home. I wanted to race an IndyCar, and then yeah, it was around then, end of my Formula 3 season. They talked about maybe doing this, and then we talked about who we could do it with. Could we start our own team? It was the smartest decision to go with the Andretti's at that point. They've done a ton for my career. I'm super thankful for Michael. And yeah, he's Michael and George are a major reason why I'm sitting here today in an IndyCar seat.
Because of the Steinbrenner connection, were you fuming at the end of this year's World Series, the way that turned out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really into any other sport, but I have been following baseball more and more. I played Little League, and I was really into baseball when I was young, kind of went away from it, but came back, and yeah, it sucks, but I'm more interested in winning an Indy 500.
George comes from a world where, especially the Yankees, if they wanted to make really rapid improvements, they could just go out and get a bunch of free agents, and all of a sudden, boom, the roster's transformed, they're a powerhouse. Doesn't work that way in racing. How have you seen his development as a team owner? Because he's young, he comes from a family where success is expected, demanded, and quickly. How have you seen his development as a team owner over the last few years, knowing that that's not the way it works in racing? You got to build up.
Yeah, he's very modest about it. Obviously, he doesn't take, he finds his own money. He's not taking money from the Yankees or from his father and putting it into a race team. That's not how you make a race team last. You can't just take family money and put it in. There's no way to run a business that way. But yeah, so he's very modest about it. He understands, his father understands it. It was just like when George bought the Yankees back. They weren't a stellar team right away. It had to be built up, and then yeah, it got built up into something pretty good. But obviously, at this point, no, he's not a powerhouse team yet. So he can't just splash money into getting a new driver or a new engineer or stuff like this. We have to build the program up slowly, and I'm glad he's doing it with me. I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, I just can't wait to get going, and I think he's done everything really, he's done really well for himself right now at his young age, and the decisions he's made, the sponsorship that he's found to put me through Indy Lights and to put me into an IndyCar is super impressive.
That build up, is it going to be tough to be patient? I mean, you've had success pretty much everywhere you go. Now you're running with an IndyCar with a lot of the best teams, and it's going to be tough. I mean, there's going to be tough times as a rookie, but there's been a lot of high expectations for you. So is it going to be tough to kind of have patience?
Yeah, I think you know, the team's realistic. They know it's going to take some time to get to a winning level for all of us. But you know, we're in it for the long run. We want to be here for a long time. We want to have long careers, and we want to do well in this sport. That's why we're doing it. Not for the money or glory. I like standing on top of the podium on Sundays, and yeah, that's what we're here for.
You enjoyed showing off the watch in the last couple of weeks?
This is the second day of warning.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying not to get mugged.
But I mean, to get one so early in your career, I mean, that's got to be a huge.
Yeah, if
Huge.
you look at guys that have been doing it for 10 years and haven't done it, and it really puts it into perspective. I think maybe I would have been a lot more fortunate if it took me that many years, because I would have known, how many times it takes. Like, you're 3 hours to go and a drive shaft breaks or something like that, and you're in the lead. So I haven't had to go through those experiences, luckily. I'm sure I'll have my fair share in the future, but right now I'm just indulging in mine.
And how much anxiety did you feel when Alex got in the car and they put the wheel in and they had electronic gremlin with the first wheel?
That was the other car.
Oh, it was the other?
Yeah, I wasn't in that car, so obviously I felt for him, but
Yeah.
it wasn't too heartbreaking for me.
I was told to ask you to tell the story of your phone at the Rolex and what happened.
The team doesn't want me to tell you, but I'll tell you. So I got in. So they called the car in, and they told me the car was in as it hit pit lane, and I didn't have anything on. So I grabbed my helmet, but I got my helmet buckled on and everything. Then I just chucked my Hans on, had my gloves in my hand. I had to jump over the fuel hose. So I jumped over the fueler to get in the car. And in all this mayhem, I left my watch on, I left my phone in my pocket. I was going down the pit lane, put my gloves on, put my Hans on. It was just a mess. And then I got out of the car. I was like, how's my phone? I was looking around for it. I did get it back, and it was hilarious. I was looking on my girlfriend's Find My iPhone, looking for
Yeah.
my iPhone. It was like,
Oh, you can see.
why is it in the lake on the back straight? It's in the front straight now. Oh, it's in the car. So I got it back. I got a new phone, but that was all cracked, and it actually still works. There's no water damage or anything, surprisingly.
Glad you didn't pick it up to use it. It tends to get in trouble.
All right, with that, we'll thank Colton for his time.
Thanks, Cole.
Yeah.